Yeah, let's get into some summer vibes. Hello, my YouTube world. This week, I want to take you on a short trip down to one of my favorite places to walk in and relax. And that is the village of Port Washington North, which is about 20 miles or so away from Manhattan. Well, we're going to walk around a pond, and that is in Port Washington North, but we will also walk along the waterfront for about 2 miles or so. Therefore, the whole walk will include neighboring places as well. For example, Baxter Estates, and I think Port Washington as well. In general, sometimes the borders and names are somewhat confusing unless you really dig into it and why things are the way they are. For example, this whole general area is part of North Hempstead, which is separate from Hempstead. Why? Well, a big dispute went back to the American Revolution, where in general the town of Hempstead remained loyal to Britain, while North Hempstead stood with the Revolution and supported the Patriots. That's right, believe it or not, many people in New York did not support the American Revolution and chose to remain with Britain for a lot of different reasons. Just like during the American Civil War, not everyone in New York supported the war or even the idea of ending slavery. Although many times we like to bring these major historical topics to simple ideas of North versus the South, slavery against anti-slavery, the story is far more complicated than that. But that is something my students will learn in the fall semester as they are being tortured by my lectures. Anyway, I'm sorry for the footage to be just a little bit darker. However, I was recording this about 7 o'clock in the morning, so the sun was not up yet. The truth is, I was on my way to a different location, which is nearby, to record something, but then the night before I realized that this spot was on the way there, and I just couldn't resist to do a video here, since I did not walk these streets for months. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I was here. But this was, and still is, one of my favorite locations. Yep, so 2 locations, 2 videos in one day. Therefore, I had to get up extra early in the morning to pull this off. Hence, the other location, which is nearby, I will show you in the next week's video. But it is a very beautiful place, and I think many of you will really enjoy the video itself. And oh, did I need this relaxing walk at the end of the teaching semester, which is always very stressful, and this stress includes the classes themselves and teaching. At the end of the semester, all of a sudden, many students wake up and realize they have not done much. And now, all of a sudden, they need extensions, curves, extra credit, you name it. But I love the excuses. Especially this semester, for some reason, it has been quite special because all of a sudden, family members die. I mean, the death rate is probably close to that of World War I, especially among grandparents. They seem to be the most vulnerable. It is probably safe to say that if you have grandkids in college, in 1 or 2 of the courses, you are officially declared deceased, sacrificed on the altar of an extension. That is not to mention there are like 5 on dialysis and other interesting situations. If you are a student and listening, trust me, only after 10 years of teaching, there is nothing you can throw at me that I did not hear already at one point or another. So I do begin to understand more the professors who have been teaching for like 20 or 30 years and why they are many times grumpy. It's most likely because they have not been impressed by the same excuses. Come on, be creative, do some critical thinking. Like, I don't know, a meteorite crushed into your backyard while you were away getting some lemonade. Unfortunately, your computer was there and you were just finishing up on the paper. No, you finished the paper and were just checking for mistakes, and all gone. The deeply researched, state-of-the-art report you were working on from day one is now completely vaporized. You know, something like that, maybe a little bit more original. So you see, all jokes aside, I did need this relaxing walk just by myself to get away from everything and catch a little bit of a breather. So the first thing I did was walk around a pond, the mill pond. But doing so, it's not only a relaxing and beautiful area, there is also a home here nearby which belonged to the Homestead family, who lived here for over 250 years. And they were among the first Europeans who settled in the area going back to the 1600s. You see the date of 1721 in the front. That's pretty historical and pretty cool. There is also a small building on the pond itself, which I think was originally a store. But there are many ponds like this in Long Island. Essentially, the ponds functioned as reservoirs, collecting water during high tides. Then, mill dams were built to control the flow of water into the mills. Once the water would pass through, it turned the millstone, which grinded grain, for example, or wheat or something like that. Here, this is an example of a millstone. So the flow of water would rotate this heavy stone and it would rub against another stone which was stationary. So any wheat or grain, anything like that, would be put in between and the stones would grind it up. Hence here you see the dam. And this is roughly the spot where there used to be a mill. Next to us, in the neighboring pond, the Baxter pond, you also see a small dam, which you will see in just a moment. But first, check out the cute geese walking right past me like I don't even exist. And it's cute, don't get me wrong, but with the large amount of ducks and geese, also it means a large amount of poop everywhere. So be careful where you step. Back in the 1800s, this whole area used to be booming with oyster and fish industries. However, by the 1900s, these industries died out and things like boat building and sand mining became big. And this is something I would like to show you a little bit more of in the video for next week. Here we have the town dock, and the first thing that kind of threw me off, again, remember I wasn't here in a while, was that there was some dude staring at me from the boat, until I walked closer and I realized my insanity and paranoia. So I'm showing you mostly the waterfront, and that's what you see, but even the walk through the villages themselves is really enjoyable and interesting with a lot of historical details. If you have been following me along on this channel, maybe you noticed that so far I have not done any locations in Staten Island or the Bronx, and very little of Manhattan itself. But I promise you, I have not forgotten about those places, and I'm planning to finally do some videos there this summer. But first, I would like to get some locations and ideas out of my head that I was thinking about for a while and I just never really had the time to visit. Towards the end of my walk, I noticed this, really for the first time. So it's kind of cool because not only can you pump air into your bicycle tires, but you also have some tools attached which you can use to repair your bicycle or tighten things. I think it's a great idea, honestly. And here we are at the end, and as you see, the lights are still on. So it's very early in the morning as I am completing this walk, and I already have been walking for about 2 hours or so. Therefore, let me grab a seat on one of these comfortable chairs, drink my morning coffee, relax a little bit, and off I will be to my next place, which I am really super excited to show you for next week. So I hope you enjoyed this short little video. Thank you so much for supporting me in this channel. And like always, stay safe out there. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.